Hey guys, it's me, it's Beth with Beth and Lizzie Drive. How's everyone doing today? Alright, so it's Thursday, what is it, June 10th? Lizzie, is it June 10th?
Yeah.
Anyway, so guys, I just had my first grocery return experience with the Uber orders. So, let me give you a little story on it. I had 2 orders, they were stack orders, going to the same apartment complex. I'm gonna pull over and do this real quick and then we'll be on our way. So they were going to the same apartment complex. They were 5 units apart from each other, literally. Well, one of them technically, because they're odds and ends, but they were 5 doors down from each other. One was 4781 and the other one was 4791. Those were the apartment numbers. So both of them required signature on them. One of them had alcohol involved, so it required me to scan an ID. When I got there, the one that required the ID was the first one to be delivered. I rang the doorbell 5 times, texted this customer 6 times, called her twice, guys. So on the last text message, I let her know that I was, had no choice but to return the groceries. So while I was loading the groceries up, her neighbor came out and he saw me doing it, and I told him, that, his neighbor wasn't answering the door, and that I was required to return these groceries and had alcohol. So he asked, if he could, if I could just scan his ID, and I said absolutely no. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I wasn't taking a chance on it. So I said absolutely no, because if I allow you to scan the ID, then you have to sign for it, and the customer can, try and say, that she never received her stuff and this and that, and or it could go all sorts of ways wrong. And, I could end up, probably going to jail because it's not going to the right person. They could say that I handed it to a teenager or something like that. So I decided, I just made a split-second decision and said absolutely no. And I said, nope. So I ended up, reporting to Uber that the customer was not available, so Uber required me to return the groceries. So after I completed that and marked it as customer unavailable and reloaded all the groceries back into my car, it took me to the next destination, which is the next house, which was 5 units down. So I get there, and I see, or I saw before, that it was going to be the same scenario. The customer was requiring signature, meet at door, and had alcohol. So I was going to have to scan their ID too. That customer had a Ring doorbell. I rang that doorbell 3 times. And I talked to them through it, they didn't talk back. I said, hi, this is your delivery driver with your groceries. I cannot leave these unattended. There's alcohol. I am requiring a signature. I must scan your ID. I also sent you a text message to let you know that all of this is needed. And I texted them multiple times. No answer. So I, finally texted them and I said, okay, the time is up. I am returning these groceries to Walmart. I am required to return them. So I marked it with Uber, customer not available. Uber said return groceries. So I returned them, and on my way there, the customers start texting me, begging me to bring them back. And I'm like, at this point, there's no need to respond because there's nothing else you can do. Once you mark those groceries, those customers as unavailable, can't reach them, etc., and Uber requires you to take them back, you can't go back with them. You can't go back to the customer's house. They've got to be taken back to Walmart. So now I get to Walmart And I call them and I say, hey, you got to come out and get them. They're like, we don't take groceries back. And I said, you have no choice. There's alcohol and stuff here. And I'm like, Uber requires it, and they said, well, we've never had this experience. I'm like, I can tell you from the customer side of it, because I've been a customer myself, you can't just leave this stuff at the door. If I require a signature, it means that the person that's delivering the groceries must knock on my door and get a signature. If I don't come to the door, then they cannot leave the groceries. She goes, well, we've never had anything returned before. And I said, well, maybe that's just the luck of the draw for you. But I have experienced this. And I said, I know for a fact, when I used to drive for Postmates out in Cocoa Zone, I had a time where a customer ordered something and I had to take it all the way out to Port Canaveral, which is the cruise district where all the cruise boats are. She was staying at a resort out there and required me to meet her downstairs. I wasn't allowed to leave it with the front desk or anything, and it was something she needed. It was medicine for a UTI. The customer did not respond, did not come downstairs, anything like that. So when I reported it to Postmates required me to bring the product back to Walmart. So I brought it back to Walmart, completed that, and got paid for it. And I told the Walmart up here about it. And they were like, well, we've never. I said, no, you have no choice. You got to take these back. She goes, well, I guess we'll just do that and just assign another driver. I said, I guess you're going to have to, because I can't do it, I'm like, that's just, it's ridiculous. I can't help it if these customers don't answer their door. So we loaded everything back up and brought it back, completed the, return. And guess what? I still got paid for them. The original payout for the 2 deliveries was going to be $28. They were stacked. They were going, basically to the same area. They were within 1 minute of each other. So it was feasible for me to do it. Not only did I get that $28, but I got extra for having to bring those groceries back. So I have a payout of $33 on that. I know that's a lot of work, but damn, she says, well, Uber needs to get their stuff together. And I'm like, no. I didn't turn around and say anything back to her. I just, about that, being like, no, you guys need to get your stuff together, because, if we, obviously you guys do not know how Uber works 100%. When there is alcohol involved, you do not leave that shit sitting. No. When alcohol is involved, you do not just plop it down or scan somebody else's ID. You don't. You don't do that. So, when it comes to groceries, it's got to be that person. It has to be. It has to be. So that's my experience with that. Is that going to deter me from doing grocery delivery? No, not at all. But I wanted to share that experience with you guys. So now my daughter and I are going to go about our day. We're going to relocate to, we're going to start heading towards the other zone. Because when I'm up here in Titusville, some reason, I only get orders every 2 hours. When I go to the other zone, I get them once an hour. So I'm relocating to that zone so I can make more money. All right, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Like what you see, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. All right, bye.